Yeah, so how can we make forms that are fast, easy, and accurate to fill in, which is essentially all of form design. So I'll try to distill an entire book slash year's worth of materials into a couple-minute answer. But at the very highest level, when we have a series of questions we need answered, the process we should start with is this thing that Caroline Jarrett calls keep, cut, postpone, or kill, I think is the right methodology. I may have one of those words wrong. But keep is, this is information that's critical, required, we've got to have it in the form somewhere. Cut, I guess that's the one for kill. Cut means we actually don't need it. And it's surprising how many times you can go and look at forms and see things that are included in there that nobody's actually even using. You go and talk to the team like, oh, well, what are we doing with this piece of data? I don't know. I guess it's over here. And this, has anybody looked at this in the past 3 years? No, but we've always collected this. So here it is. So there's stuff you can cut. Postpone is things that you can ask later. So there's a lot of information that we force you to give us up front, which isn't applicable, and actually has a better time and place further down in the flow. So postponing questions until they're appropriate is a really good strategy as well. And the last one is explain. And explain just basically boils down to telling people why you're asking for something or how they can answer that question. There's a case study at the beginning of my web form design book where a major e-tailer, like a huge e-commerce site, had 2 options at checkout. One was login and one was register. It turned out you could actually register without creating an account. You could actually buy something without making an account. But it was totally unclear from that language, login or register. So what they did is they changed the label of the button that said register to continue, and they put a little bit of text that says you do not need an account to continue, and conversions went up something like 30%. They made 300 million more a year overnight just from explaining what they were actually talking about. So that keep, cut, postpone, and explain methodology is great at the very highest level. Then when you go deeper, you get much more into interaction design and visual design considerations. What's the right input control for this type of question? How do I minimize typing mistakes? How do I bound people so that they don't go into an error state? And you can do that with things like custom keyboards, input types, inline validation. There's a whole school of methodology for the nuances of forms. But it all starts at that bigger picture methodology of really thinking through what should be there, where, and what you need to tell people about the questions you're asking them, if that makes sense.